Hi y'all, back again, same place. This is just a quick video I'm going to do on insanity tips. As some of you may know, I'm doing the insanity workout. I actually completed my first round with amazing results. Amazing results. And I'm starting my second round. I actually started last week. So, I have some tips for beginners because I still consider myself a beginner, and I just want to share the things that helped me make it through because I know it was hard. It was quite a challenge in the beginning, and it's still a challenge. So just some tips that I found, and they're written on my note card, so I'll be reading from here if you see me looking down. And let's go. The first tip is breathing, which is what I had the most difficult time with in the beginning, which prevented me from making it through my workouts in the beginning. Breathing. I did some research, and with the breathing, what helped me and what I found from research is taking 3 breaths, inhaling 3 times, and then inhaling for 3 counts, and then exhaling for 2 counts. I practiced it when I would go on my walks, because I go on 2 walks a day, and I would take 3 steps breathing, inhaling, and then 2 steps exhale, 3 steps inhale, 2 steps exhale. And I would even practice it sitting down at my desk. I practiced it as much as possible, and then I was practicing it during the workout. Remarkable difference. I was able to make it through. My heart rate is more regulated, and overall I feel I'm getting better results because, like I said, I'm able to make it through, and I just feel better doing that. And initially I had to conscientiously tell myself, I had to really think about, okay, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, and then after a while I started just doing it naturally and without having to count again. Let's see. Oh, another tip. Heart rate monitor. Very important. Before I got my heart rate monitor, I was a mess. I was like, oh my god, I can't take this. I was taking like a gazillion breaks. Like, I just kept taking breaks. I got a heart rate monitor, the one with the chest strap. I will post a picture of it. And I got it from Walmart. It was $49 and some change by Sportsline. And once I got that, I was like, oh my god, okay, I got this. I was able to determine what my peak heart rate was, like the point where my heart rate was at the point where I was like, oh my god, I can't do this, where I started feeling like I couldn't really breathe well, and I was, conking out, bonking out, whatever. So once I figured out what that heart rate was, I was able to work my way up slowly up to a pace that maintained my, beats per minute below the max. And that helped me take fewer breaks. It helped me, get through the workouts without stopping every 30 seconds. Because, be real, insanity is, you can stop every 10 seconds. It's that rough. So heart rate monitor, definitely, you want to get a heart rate monitor. The one I have counts calories, which I think is awesome. I think that's really important, and it's also very motivating, but it's not necessary. Another tip, shoes. I have flat feet, so I was starting with running shoes, and my arches hurt so bad that I couldn't even make it through the workout at a certain point. So I did some research. I was like, okay, I'll try the shoes that all these people were recommending for insanity. They were like some Nike TP2s. They're like cross trainers. Those shoes are really, really good. They're really great. I bought them. I tried them. I like them. But because I'm flat-footed, it's just like they just weren't working out for me. It was always something. It started to be that outside of my foot that was hurting. So the best method for me, having flat feet, was doing it barefoot. So I do it barefoot. Sometimes I use an arch support. I'll post a picture of the ones that I use. I would use an arch support wrapped around my foot while I do it sometimes. But as far as shoes, the ones that I got, the Nike TP2, whatever they're called, I'll post those in the description box. They're awesome. I actually really recommend those shoes because those shoes are great aside from the fact that I'm flat-footed. And Okay, so calories. You want to make sure you consume enough calories. I cannot stress the importance of consuming enough calories because you need enough calories to burn. So important. And the first 2 weeks of me doing insanity was hell because I had all these issues and I was learning. And so calories, I wasn't eating enough. I was trying to stick with a certain number of calories, like the amount that they explain in the book that comes with the DVDs. And that didn't work for me. It didn't work for me. It was not enough calories. So I had to increase my calories, and I think I was trying to do like 1,400 gross calories, and my body needs at least 1,800 to 2,000, at least, and mostly protein. I eat a lot of carbs, but it's the carbs that I eat are mostly vegetables. But you also need protein, but make sure you have enough calories to burn, okay? And try to make them good calories. I also recommend a pre-workout something, snack. I don't know. A lot of people say to eat a banana like 15 to 20 minutes before. I'm not a banana fan, so this is totally against my healthy, clean, raw eating, but I drink a protein shot like 20 minutes before I do my workout. And it's called Protein to Go. It's 2.5 ounces. It's like this big. It has 21 grams of protein. I take that before, and it gives me a little something to help me get through. Make sure you drink enough water while you're doing your workout. Don't guzzle it though. I just take little sips. But if you drink enough water throughout the day, you should be cool. And just make sure you're replenishing yourself, you're hydrating yourself during the workout. And then after working out, you should drink a recovery drink or something. I mean, I don't drink the Beachbody recovery, results in recovery formula. I make my own green protein smoothie. I call it a protein smoothie because I add hemp protein to it. I think it's 18 grams of protein per serving. But I always have something afterwards to replenish myself because, you know, you've just killed off a whole bunch of calories and you've depleted yourself from a lot of energy. So I make a green protein smoothie and I use like a spinach, kale, chard, romaine lettuce, just whatever I have on hand. And I use strawberries and blueberries for the most part. I have a banana. Sometimes I'll throw on a half of avocado. Chia seeds, and then my hemp protein. I use Manitoba Harvest Hemp Pro 70. And I put something else in there. Water. I prefer alkaline water. Sometimes I use regular bottled water. And I may throw in a few ice cubes because all of my ingredients, aside from the powder and the seeds, are frozen. I freeze them myself. And that's it. That's what I have after my workout every day. Consistency is important. You need to be consistent with doing the whole 60 days. I mean, if you have to miss a day, oh my gosh, fine. I've missed days and I always make them up. I would do like 2 workouts the next day or whatever. But that's not necessarily good because you're killing a lot more calories than you're consuming. So it's best to try to stick with doing, you know, the workout every day, 6 days a week. And the time that you do it, you should be consistent with the time. A lot of people say it's best to do it in the morning on an empty stomach. That doesn't work out for everybody. I started trying to do that and it killed off my day because I have to go to work afterwards and I was just like, oh. And I hated getting up like an hour earlier just to do the workout and take a shower. So I do mine when I get home or in the afternoons or evenings or whatever. And yeah, that's it. You just be consistent with the time. Make sure you do it around the same time every day and try to do it at a time where you know you can dedicate that time to the workout. And, you know, you're not going to be distracted or have something else come up where you can't do it. Let's see. Scale. Don't check your scale. Don't do it. You're going to be discouraged. I gained 8 pounds in the first 2 weeks. But I shrunk. But I was still discouraged because, like, oh my God, I gained 8 pounds. Where is this coming from? So don't check your scale. If you have to, check your scale starting in month 2. Something, because you don't want to get discouraged. That's just from me to you. Helpful hint. Helpful tip. And also take measurements. I would take measurements and photos before you start. And maybe every 2 weeks thereafter, because the measurements are where you're going to see the most noticeable difference. That's where I saw my most noticeable difference. I've lost a lot of inches. I didn't lose them quickly, but starting in month 2, they just melted off. So measure and photos. Let's see. If you need to take breaks, take breaks. Take as many breaks as you need to. Go at your own pace. Sean says this numerous times, go at your own pace. Take breaks if you need to. You do not have to go as fast as they're going. I never do. I'm like, no, because my heart rate wouldn't make it. It just won't. My heart rate would, and then I'd have to stop. So go at your own pace. One thing I want to say for me, because I'm a top heavy woman, I found a really good sports bra. This may be TMI for some people. I don't care. But I found a really good sports bra. It's called E-Nail. I will post a photo. It hooks up the front. I've had this sports bra for like 3 or 4 years and it is still like brand new. It's awesome. I don't move. Nothing moves. So that's something that's really good for high impact and for the women who may need it. So I wanted to mention that. Foam rollers also help because your muscles are going to be sore. So if you can get a foam roller, that helps. And basically how a foam roller works, there are a lot of videos that you can look at on YouTube. It's a long foam roll. And you roll your muscles over it on the floor, and it helps. It's like a massage. It helps knead out any knots and sore spots. You can do it before, you can do it after. It also helps with your flexibility. So I would do it when you're warm, so after the workout. If you can, stretch before you work out, even before the warm-up. Do some arm stretches because there aren't a lot of arm stretches in the workout. Actually, there aren't any. So I would try some arm stretches, some back stretches, even some hip side stretches, because most of the stretches in the video focus on your legs, your hamstrings, and your hip flexors. I also say get enough sleep. So important. Number one, it's important because your body needs to recover, but number two, if you're tired, you're going to feel it in your workout. You're not going to be able to make it through. It's going to be really hard, and your heart rate's going to spike too quickly, and you're not going to be able to get as much out of your workout. Don't let anything stop you. Don't let anything distract you. And like I said, just make sure you're tracking your progress and make sure you stay away from the scale. And as far as supplements, I don't really have any tips. I don't drink protein shakes or anything like that. Like I said, I use my little hemp protein, but that's really nothing. I do suggest you increase your protein consumption, intake, whatever, because you want to build as much muscle as you, lean muscle as you can in order to burn the fat. You don't, everybody doesn't want to bulk up, which you're really not with Insanity, but you want to be able to feed your muscles enough protein to grow so that they will burn the fat. If you are checking the scale and you notice you gain a few pounds in the beginning, don't panic. It's likely you're gaining muscle and or you're retaining water because of the muscle recovery. The muscles are healing, so you may be retaining water. So you want to increase your water intake, like I said, and just don't panic. Also, one more thing for me, after 2 weeks, after my second fit test, I just fell in a rut. I was like, I've gained 8 pounds. I'm giving this my all. I don't understand. I'm not getting the results that I want. Like, I'm not feeling this. And that's when I started asking for suggestions and I started making some changes. And I want to say the last week during the recovery week in month 1 is when the pounds started dropping. I started shrinking. My clothes started falling all off. I started really seeing the results. So for everybody, it doesn't happen right away. For some people it takes more time to see the results, but if you stick with it, you should see results at some point. So just keep going. If I would have quit after week 2, I wouldn't have seen any results. It would have been pointless, but I kept going because I made the commitment and results. And look, here I am back for another round. I love it. I hate it and I love it. I cuss Sean T out every day, but I still love him. I look forward to my workouts every day, but I want to fight him. I wear a waist trimmer belt sometimes I don't. I like the waist trimmer belt because Sean always says, contract your abs, hold your abs in. And when you get a big belly like I had, it's hard to do that. So the waist trimmer belt for me helps me keep my abs in a contracted position to make it easier for me to keep them pulled in. Until my stomach flattened out really quickly in the recovery week, and I didn't need it anymore. I still use it sometimes, but I don't really like it because it sucks water and it can dehydrate you. But I used it mainly for the support and to keep me flat, and it does help in that way. And that's all I have right now. And if you guys have any questions, let me know. I will gladly answer them in my next video, which I will try to show you guys my results from doing Insanity and all that good stuff. And I will talk to you guys later. Oh, just really quick, I'll tell you guys about some of my results. I think my first round I lost, I want to say 16 pounds, and because I wasn't really interested in losing weight, I was trying to lose more size, and I lost several inches. I'm down like 2 dress sizes, which for me is a lot because I'm like naturally thick. So I just wanted to give you that tidbit of information, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye.